Number 4, being a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
Is a creative process.
Yes.
How do you keep up with your rigorous schedule?
Well, for me, I started off when I was doing reactions in the beginning. It was very much like I was recording. I knew the days I was off university, so it was sort of automatically doing that. But at the same time, then I still had like university and a job, so I was sort of like, oh, so that wasn't too bad. Then it was more towards the now time where I know there was a sort of a gap in my schedule where there was times that because I was working 9 to 5, I live in London, but it takes me about an hour to get to work, an hour to get back. So I'm not getting home in the evening until 6:30. I'm coming home, I'm having a shower, I'm making dinner. It's 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Right.
I can't sit down at 8 o'clock at night and be like, hey guys, Judge Alexander here, and today, because it's just,
I know.
I'm not going to lie to somebody, and I'm not going to falsely put on a show for anybody. If my, not even mental health, but if my energy levels are just not there, I don't want to waste my time and their time with a reaction or a video that's not worth it. So more recently, when I was doing the Lee React stuff, it was weekends and stuff. Then what I did, and this is sort of leaning into the balance in your schedule thing, I did something that I thought was great. So we watched the first 3 seasons in like a month. Like we were watching every single day, and I was like, because I don't want this to be a series that just stops halfway through because he gets disinterested with it.
Right.
So I was like, we're gonna film every day. So it was great, and I started uploading like every week or whatever for the first season or 2. Right. Then the backlog, I mean, it was series 3, episode 10 to series 8 that were just sat there on this thing like, hi, how are you? And I was just like, and the thought of going through all those episodes, like I said before, it's just like a lot.
It can get to you,
something I would say, and there were times where I was like, well, do you know what, maybe I'll just stop and just people will understand. And then of course towards the end, the numbers, again, a sort of number thing came in because my reactions got 50, 60,000 views. Lee reactions, a couple of them, 20,000, 10,000, we're getting 4,000, 5,000 views. That's fair enough. Game of Thrones was over, so there wasn't that many people who were wanting to watch those reactions. So then you think, oh, well, there's not many people watching it. And then I used to take myself out and think, just stop a minute, George. If you were to have a room, a room, like a big room, and you put 4,000 people in that room, that's still a lot of people because you get obsessed with those high numbers. And you think, oh my God. And it's the same with the horror reacts things. I'm like, oh, there's only 400, 500 people. I'm like, but if I met 500 people, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot that want to see what you're doing. Yeah.
You get obsessed with these numbers again. And you think you'd have to take yourself out of it and think, well, do you know what? I've still got to do it. And so that was the thing. At one point I was like, I want to stop this Game of Thrones Lee reacts because no one's watching it. And just really I'm not in the right frame of mind to have the energy. And then I thought, well, you know what? I need to do it for those people who are still really enjoying it and still watching it. So going back to that question again, sorry, tangents are my good thing. I can go off on them. Is that it is important to balance a schedule. Don't just record a load of videos and think I'm going to record them so I've got them there and I'll edit, because the day might come when you're sat there with 12, 15, my case 50 odd videos to edit, and you're like, it just overwhelms you. So try and do it, with some of the new shows that I want to look at. So for example, I want to do The Boys and the Haunting of Blythe Manor. My idea that I put out to do will be that I'll record 2 episodes, edit those 2 episodes the next day or that day, and then I may have another day off and then record the next 2, rather than record the entire season, the first season or whatever, and be like, I'll just edit them. Give yourself time to think, okay, because recording it is the easiest part. Once you've got everything set up, you click and play and it's go. But the editing is the part you need to put in your head, like, how much time do I need to spend on this? And you don't want to rush that editing. So I would say, in response to that question, make sure that you do sit before you do your channel, sit down and think, okay, what type of videos do I want to do? How is the schedule going to work for the channel, and how is it going to work for me behind the scenes in terms of editing, uploading, and recording those videos?
Think it through. And if you're going to start a channel, pick the show you want to react to the most, or that maybe people have mentioned, and stick to one, maybe two shows when you start.
Yeah.
Like, some people are starting new channels and they've got a different TV show or whatever reaction every day. And I'm like, oh, they're reacting to way too much. And then they're going to get behind. They're going to get overwhelmed. And I know about burnout because I overdid it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to,
Yes, I get to the next level.
Yeah. And so you've got to start out with 1 or 2 shows, record them, react to them, edit them, and see how you do, because you probably have another job, or you have a life, you have kids, you have whatever. And then maybe you can throw another show in there or start a Patreon.
Yeah.
Like, it took me 1.5 years before I thought about starting a Patreon page. I knew I couldn't handle all of it. So you don't have to do everything at once. So that's good points. Good points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number 5. Okay. Number 4. YouTubing is a creative process. And I know, and then the next part of this question is, how do you keep up with your rigorous schedule? But like you said, you don't really give yourself a schedule.
No.
But how do you keep up with knowing, like, okay, I want to finish. Do you ever say, I want to finish season 7 by, let's say, October? I don't think, what do you do?
That.
Right.
But then in the back of my mind, I'm like don't set a goal like that, because if I don't make it, I'll be really hard on myself, which I am already anyway. So I don't want to add to that. So I know I try not to do that anymore. Back when I first started, I was like, oh, I'm going to put, an episode out, 2 episodes a week, or, whatever. That fell by the wayside really quick. So after that, I just learned that I can't do that, because I'll miss it. I'm not a deadline kind of person.
Yeah.
If you put a deadline on me, I'm like, ugh, no. I don't want anything to do with that.
That's the thing with when you said the deadline, back to Game of Thrones, when people said, oh, well, you won't be finished in time for season 7, they weren't saying like, hurry. I was like, you're saying I can't finish? Yes, I will. So it was like, I'll prove your ass wrong.
Watch me.
And my husband was like, have you eaten today? And I was like, I'm editing something. And then I'm going to watch 3 more. And then I would like take a shower or eat, and I'm recording on the side, got to let it record. And then I just like, so everybody leave me alone. I've got to react and get these done. And he was just like, what are you trying to prove? I'm like, I want to get this done by such and such day. And I did it, but I put that pressure on myself, and I didn't stop there. Then I continued on with Lost and the other shows, which
you were pumping them out. Like,
no wonder I burned out. I mean, hello, I knew I had anxiety. I've had it for 16 years. What was I thinking?
That's the same with me. That's why I try not to put more on myself than I can handle already, because I have anxiety every day of my life.
Yes.
So to put more on myself I would probably quit if I tried to make deadlines all the time. I just wouldn't do it.
You want to please people, and it's like I'm a people pleaser, and I'm just like, I'm going to get this out to you, no matter what. And it's like my body's going, just rest, and I'm just
right.
So I think if you're thinking about doing a channel, you out there, like, think about that. Think about how busy you are right now. Are you a soccer mom or a soccer dad, or
exactly?
Are you in school? Are you going to go to school? Are you, in the PTA? Like, think of everything you've got to do, because this takes a lot of time.
It does. And
when you start up and people get excited, you feel like you have to keep them interested by doing something else, or doing every show that they recommend in the comments. Right. And you're like,
oh man,
holy hell, I can't do 10 shows. So you try and pick, and then it's like, oh, they're going to be mad. You got to kind of compartmentalize all that. And so I think by you not doing a schedule, that has affected me, because I'm actually thinking of just starting Patreon back up, but not my channel. Like I may vlog here and there because that's really takes no editing.
Yeah.
For the most part, but I think I might react to movies.
That would be fun.
And I don't know, Jamie, if you know, I don't know if you know this, but you're going to be really disappointed in me, by the way. I am going to start reacting to the Harry Potter movies because I have never seen them. What kind of person does that? I've never, people are like, Humpheldorf and Hunkendorf, and I'm like, what's that from? And they're like, it's from Harry Potter, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen it.
Where have you been? Don't you?
Yeah, I know. I know. And then somebody said to me about Hogwarts Reacts, and I thought, is that her last name? Look at her mug. You've got the scarf. You've got all kinds of stuff behind you. And why Hogwarts Channel was called Hogwarts, because I know that wasn't Hannah's last name. And I know she's been married since then. But I was like,
name that would be.
I know. I thought, well, Hannah Hogwarts. That's weird. Yeah. And then the other Hannah, when they started reacting to Lost, she's Sleepy Hannah. And then you got Papa Brian and you got Jeremy. And I thought, where is Hogwarts coming from? And when I brought up Harry Potter, and I called it a witch school, which they got onto me about. They were like, he's not a witch, he's a wizard. And I was like, I haven't seen it yet. Calm down.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's witchcraft and wizardry.
Oh, School of Witchcraft. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to.
You're completely wrong.
I'm gonna have to write down all these names. And then I was like, oh, the other Hannah must love Harry Potter, and so that's why it's called Hogwarts Reacts, because it's her. And they were like, yeah, like
what's wrong with you?
I had no idea. I'm not in the world of Harry Potter, but I will be soon. So
good. I hope that you love it.
And I'm not going to have a schedule for it. I'm just going to do it when I can.
Yeah, don't do that. Just do it when you can.
Yeah,
and I will absolutely watch those.
I'm not gonna stick to a schedule anymore. And I kept saying, if I come back to YouTube, because it's been like a 2-year break now.
I think it's just easier on yourself that way. Just put them out when you can, and people will appreciate them, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 5. All right. The fourth question I have for you guys. Since YouTubing is a creative process, how do you keep up with your rigorous schedule?
Well, I handle the schedule.
So you have it like a spreadsheet?
I have, I've already started on, I've got a lot of 2021 filled out already, which is, I don't know what I'm thinking, but
is that going to be a good year? Oh, you're not psychic. You're just filling it out for the channel. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, please. In terms of shows, it's going to be a depressing year, I think. A lot of our favorite shows are ending, done. So it's going to be wild. But if I don't have it written down, if I don't have it scheduled out, it gets confusing and schedules gets lost. Like, I'm a very detailed and kind of OCD about a lot of our schedule. Which probably drives Nikki crazy because
I'm very go with the flow. What are we doing tonight?
Yeah.
Which means, can I have a glass of wine or can I not? What am I doing later? Do I need to? Can I stay in my pajamas or I got to put on makeup? Well, you tell me what we're doing.
What? Yeah. Set the mood.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we at the beginning of the year we kind of shifted our reaction schedule a little bit and our strategy because we found Twitch. Which I was a video gamer my whole entire life, and I found Twitch, and we figured out a way to balance all of that because one piece of advice that I like to give people who create content is don't put all your eggs in one basket, essentially, especially a reaction channel where that shit could just poof away at any moment because we're basically at the mercy of companies that own content. So I made the decision like, hey, babe, we're starting a Twitch channel. All right. So we essentially kind of cut the reaction videos down and to create balance for that. So we're now doing basically more, but less.
Because we actually get like days off and like where we can actually just like watch TV and like do whatever we want. Because that's sometimes like I can't watch TV. I have to ask him first, is this something that we're going to be reacting to? Or can I watch this? Enola Holmes? Or is it something you have to, do I have to save it?
I saw that looks good with 11 on there.
I saw half of it. It was very good.
It's very good. I highly recommend.
I think it's an interesting concept of that Sherlock Holmes being her brothers and then the mother is like, so I that's still on my list of things that I want to watch.
It was really, really good. Yeah.
Oh, good. It looks like just a fun, like, you can follow what's going on. You don't have to be like stressed out and.
Totally.
They told the story in a very cute, fun, really nice way. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
The other thing that maybe a lot of people might not realize is I have a full-time job. I work, especially since March, working from home. I essentially haven't had a day off because I have more access to things working from home now. So anybody could be like, hey, Steve, can we get this? It's like, oh, yeah, no problem. I jump on my computer. I don't have to drive an hour to work to go get it done. So the balance of having work every day, having kids, having 3 YouTube videos, 3 Twitch streams, getting to the gym or not the gym, riding the bike in the living room, whatever it is, like still having time for the family. It's really challenging to have that balance. And that's why I'm so kind of obsessive about having it charted out and writing it and having full control of it myself. Like, I feel like me knowing exactly what we're doing makes it easier for the two of us. Because it's like, all right, this show's coming out in the end of November. It's on the schedule. Let's go adjust it. Boom. That's that. Sticking to our 3 videos a week, our 3 streams a week. And then just being planned is really how we deal with the crazy schedule.
Everything gets done after the children are in bed. So it's like everything is late at night. There's little to no sleep happening. It's like late nights, early mornings. But we focus on the kids during the day. This is their time with mommy and daddy. And it's like, I'm not, like, so everything has to happen at night. So only so much can happen between the hours of 8:30 and 1 a.m. So it's like,
I thrive with no sleep, so it works for me.
Wild.
I couldn't do that knowing I wasn't going to bed until at least 1 a.m. because I'm not a night person, but I mean, I could be up at 5 a.m., get me dressed and ready for the day, and I'm fine.
Total opposite.
But don't throw both at me. I don't keep me up till 1 and then wake me up at 5 or I'll scratch your eyes out. It's just not, not going to happen. But I like what you're doing, Steve, as far as planning it out for the both of you. And she also can know what's kind of going to happen or what's going to happen even into next year, or what she should watch or not, because it, like I said, this is a creative process. So you're realizing that, The Walking Dead, they're going to give us some more episodes, and then God knows when season 11 is going to happen. So there's going to be a big gap. So you were like, let me switch over to Twitch a little bit and add that, like people that are thinking of starting a channel, you need to keep that kind of stuff in mind.
100%.
Do you teach, online? A lot. Both of my daughters are teachers in high school, and they're on Zoom every day, and it can be kind of hard because high schoolers are just, they want to be difficult anyway. So getting them to show up and so they're doing that. So, but do you have a spouse? Do you have kids? Do you have all that stuff y'all were talking about? And then you got to fit in eating and sleeping.
That's important.
You can't do those at the same time, unfortunately, unless you put it like an IV in your arm and just go to sleep.
There it is.
No,
that's
not my. Blend the food and put it in the IV and go to sleep. No. I mean, so you've got to stay creative with the channel and throw in stuff where people are like, "What's Nikki and Steve up to?" Or Steven, sorry,
no, you're
up
fine.
to now. And people have to think of that though, because if they're wanting to start a channel, I've seen a lot of people that are really into it and then they drop off after 3 months and they're
balanced.
It's like all of a sudden they're like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want it, you know, and I'm not saying don't try, just think of everything kind of ahead of time.
Just be organized,
balanced and consistent.
It's like Mr. Miyagi said, balance is the key.
Oh my God, here we go.
Balance is the key. Okay, number 5. Okay, Liam, the next question I have for you is, obviously YouTubing is a creative process. It's not going to be for everybody, but how do you keep up with your rigorous schedule? You do have certain shows that you have and you do like certain days of the week. How do you keep up with that? And I know you were going to school and you probably have a job and you have friends and you have a life, right?
Yeah.
So how do you fit all that in?
It is slightly easier given the real world situation at the moment because you just can't really see anyone. So in terms of that, it was a lot easier. But yeah, when I started my channel, I just started uni like a few months before. So it was very much balancing that. And if I had like an assignment due or anything like that, I'm like, you know what, guys, no videos for like a week or so. I'm going to get this done. So it's definitely about like priorities in that regard for sure. There are certain shows that I'll be like, well, yeah, I'll film these and I'm going to post these on the weekend. Or, you know, I do a podcast every Tuesday. I'm like, okay, I need to get that done, edited. On Tuesday, I'll publish that. Other than that, I will kind of listen to what my body's telling me in terms of like, I'm not in the mood to react today. I don't think I can do this today. Maybe I'll do a video about some game or something. And I always tell myself I'll only ever record a video a day now, because back in the day, like 2 years ago, I'd be doing 2 or 3 videos a day. Just trying to get them out, get them done. That just became far too much. And I was like, I need to step back because I couldn't put all my energy and everything I had into making the best reactions I could in that moment, because I was thinking, well, what's next? You know, people are excited for this episode. I need to just get through all these ones.
And
get to that point. So yeah, I just kind of go with my gut a lot of the time, and I have like, oh, I'd like to get these shows done across this next week, but if I don't, it's not going to be the end of the world.
It won't be. Jamie and I were talking about that earlier too, and she's had the hardest time just because of her internet connection and her computer, along with her family and kids and all, like life. As I said, like we all have a life. I know other people that watch the channels don't think we do. They think that we just do this and eat and sleep, you know. But we do have other things going on. There's sicknesses. There's, you know, there's the corona that's happening right now, but we do want to take a vacation. We want to do this, that, and the other. But there's something that I appreciate that you do, and I try and do it myself, is get on the community tab, get on Twitter, and let people know, hey, I'm behind right now.
Yeah.
It's not coming out this week. I'm trying for it to be, but if it doesn't happen, just letting you know. And that, I think that's a great heads up, because then people aren't like on your last video complaining about when's the next one. It's like, it's coming, or something happened, you know, reminding them that we have a life. And I know that you do that, and a lot of us try to, and I think that's a good thing to keep people posted. And I've bothered you once or twice, and I'm like, where's Once Upon a Time? And then I'm like, LOL, I know you're busy, you have a life, but then I'm really like, no, really, where is it?
I do remember dropping into one of your live streams once and be like, hi. You're like, where's Once Upon a Time, Leah?
I know. And you're like, oh crap, why'd I even show my name?
Bye.
Okay, bye. That commercial. Hi. Okay, bye. Yeah, that's me. I've done it before. I know. I mean, I know the schedule and what it takes, and I still bother people. I know. But you have to stop and go, it's okay. They're busy, and I knew you were at school, or you'd say I have a paper due, and you'd made an announcement, and but you know, we as YouTubers, and I know you're probably fans of other channels too. I mean, it's like we're this big happy family and community that people don't realize. You know, we talk to each other, not always just like this. Like you're going to be joining George soon today, and I'll be joining in on just in the chat, not on screen, but you're going to be reacting to the horror movie Alien with George. He's doing one every day in October, and I've been joining him every day so far. So I will be watching that. I have not seen it. But you and George are friends, and it's like, you know, you can get on there and it's like we're a family. I don't think it's really a competitive, mean type of community where it's like, well, why did you get more subs on Your Walking Dead than I did? Or why did you, you know, you have more subs than I do? I think at first you kind of look at stuff like that, and then you just, like you had said, you focus on the show, focus on your own channel, stay in your lane, so to speak. Mind your business, as your mama says. Mind your business. And then it won't get to you so much. But I have number 5, another question for you. Brings me into number 4. Script tonight. This is for everybody out there too, that if you're thinking of doing this, YouTubing is a creative process. So how do you keep up with the rigorous schedule? Like you were saying, I mean, you work full time. I did at one point when I started, and then I went to part-time, and then I just started doing this full time. And you would have thought it would have gotten easier, but life goes on around us. So how do you keep things creative and live your life?
Yeah, I think for me, it's keeping it, in my case, and you know, this is not everyone has to do this, but for me, it was about keeping things small and very much kind of like, what I do, kind of similar to you, I do a show poll, you know, so I have a group of shows that I would be happy with watching any of them, you know, and then, you know, and give that poll over to patrons or whoever to pick. So first things first, it's manage your workload properly and just don't take on too much. Yeah. Like, I get that if your goal is to, you know, create a mega channel, I know that you would definitely need to post more than I do. So, you know, you would have to make sure you have sufficient time in your own schedule to do that, because I think to do this and do it right, it does take time. Like, I have no shit spent 6 hours on editing a YouTube video.
And I think people don't understand that. Like, like if I could get something edited in 2.5 hours, it's a miracle. It's you know, hopefully it's a decent video, but it takes a long time to do it right. And to make it fit within the YouTube 10 minutes, like, it's so much more difficult than people think. And you have to record it, react to it, then edit it, then upload it, and then hope it goes through.
It's a good chunk of time. So you are thinking, okay, well, you know, end to end, if you consider like all of the time that goes into what you're doing, I'd probably say for me it would be maybe 5 hours per video, something like that. If you took everything that I'm going to do associated with making that video, you know, the upload, the downloads, and, you know, all that stuff. Right. Because when you're editing for YouTube as well, it's like, I know not everyone does this, but like, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. So I want to make sure that I'm still telling a story within the edit that goes up on YouTube. I like to do that too. I want people to know, like, if someone's getting in a car and going somewhere, I've got to show the bit where they get in the car, because I want there to be a narrative flow to, you know, to what people are watching. Because I hate it. I can't stand it. If I'm watching, I'll literally turn off. If I watch a YouTube reaction, they've just done a highlight reel. You know, it's just like
a scene.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't connect with this. You know, I'm going to go off. Yeah. So for me, it was like, because I got, you know, you were my example, basically, you know, you, Nikki and Steve. And I was thinking about, you know, what is the difference with Nikki and Steve and American Mum versus everything else? Because I do watch other reactions, like I've got loads of subscriptions, but it's like, who do I really watch though? And it really is only a handful of channels where I'm every video that they put up.
Right.
You know, I'm watching beginning to end. And that was what it was. It's that you tell a story all the way through it.
Right.
And that takes time to be able to do that. So take the time. And for me, I mean, this is where autism helps, is I just build a routine and then I stick to it. So like right now, a couple of weeks ago, I realized, and I don't know why I didn't do this before, but generally I'll watch a thing and then I'll edit it. So that's just how I started. I watch the thing and then I go and edit it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've just started doing is like on a Sunday afternoon, so like a real chill afternoon, I'll film like 2 or 3 reactions because I watch telly then anyway.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about editing on the same day. So I'm not already got my head in. I got to do, you know, several hours of editing.
Stuck here all day. You just sit back and relax.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to
watch it.
Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that has now like cut my production time down by crazy because then the day that I'm editing, I haven't reacted. So I have more energy because actually, you know, reacting itself takes energy. Normally I would say you wouldn't believe this, but I think people watching you and me react would go, that must take some energy because they're
exactly. It also probably explains the reason why I might be wearing this shirt watching 4 episodes of Lost in a row. It's because I binged them that day. I do have other clothes, but but it's over a 3-week period that you're going to see those 4 episodes or whatever they are. And people are like, gosh, she loves that shirt. No, I watched all of those in the same day. And then I took a different day and was like, you know, okay, I'm going to edit 1 or 2. And then, but I mean, people have to think that. They're like, does she not have any more clothes?
I actually used to change tops between because I was self-conscious about people thinking that. I've stopped that. You can look at my thumbnails on the channel right now to know
Screw it. No.
Like favorite 3 sets of clothes all the time. So like maybe once a year it'll change, but if you go through my reactions, you can follow like which clothes I'm into or not into as you go along. Like this jumper now, basically everything I'm doing, you'll see me in this jumper. Washed and then put back on, but mostly what I'm wearing. So I've just kind of had to give it up and go, well, I want to be comfortable. And actually I think the more comfortable you are, that's another thing about getting it right, is be comfortable.
Yes.
Because for me, my personal opinion, I'm sure there are other people who feel differently, but my favorite reactions are natural. They're people who are just putting their thoughts on loudspeaker. They're sitting there just like I'm in the room with them, and they're doing what they do. And I actually, that is the hardest thing, I think, of this whole thing. Like, I don't know about you, but if you go back to your first reactions, like, it's really cringy watching your first reactions back, because at that point you're still a bit self-conscious.
Yes.
So like you're not, maybe if you've got an accent like I have, your accent is a bit dialed back because you've got your TV voice on and that kind of stuff. And
I swear,
in a few series with someone, and watch them just really become natural.
I noticed that, Kryptonite. I actually I haven't done it recently, but something made me, I think when I hit a certain amount of subscribers, I don't think I put it on for here, but I just wanted to know, what was my first video? And I remember it was my introduction to myself. And I swear to you, I do not know who that woman was. My hair was a mess. The lighting was shit. I had gotten this camera. I figured out how to work it and to push record. And then my husband said, when you're done talking, you hit, stop. And I was like, hi, y'all. It's American Mom. Thank you for I mean, it was like, it wasn't me. I wasn't like, as you get comfortable with your audience and yourself and I didn't know how to edit properly. So if I messed up, if I'm into my introduction, I wouldn't just stop and go, okay, and then pick up where I'd messed up. I would start all over again because I didn't know how to put the edit parts together. And I remember thinking, oh, you idiot. It just takes time, but you have to give yourself that time. Don't go, well, that was crap. I'm not doing it anymore. I looked ridiculous. I sounded ridiculous, but I did. You know, I was like I was in a pageant. I'm from North Carolina, and my name is Michele. I was like, I don't talk that way.
Yeah, because normally, you know, like I have quite a Bristolian accent, which in the UK is like, it's not the sexiest accents. It's kind of like, oh, country bumpkin. You get quite a lot of piss taken out of you, basically.
Southern. So you're the Southern version of in England of me.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's actually a very similar kind of reaction that you get. You know, people go, "You are down on the farm like this," and you're like,
piece of straw.
City in this country. What are you talking about? But it's weird. It's always made me more comfortable. Like I have got more of an accent now than I even used to have. Because just let it go. Because
you're more comfortable. Yeah.
I'm just more comfortable in my own skin. And it's actually bled out into my other life. So now it's like I don't put on cues when I'm doing my journalism stuff anymore. Because I thought, you know, part of the reason it's similar with reactions as my journalism is it's for normal, ordinary people. You know, you don't have a PhD. You know, let's just have a normal conversation as human beings about stuff that's important. And I just thought, God, actually, if I could bring more of myself into this other thing I do,
right,
that would be better. I actually think it would be better. And so I'm even doing a reaction series now in my journalism. So we have like a thing called Prime Minister's Questions each week. You have the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition in the House of Commons, and they rah 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 like this, and I react to that. Now, so like in my professional life, I'm actually doing a reaction series over there.
Are you going to put it on YouTube, or is it just for you?
I know it goes out on our actual media.
On your Well, I want to send me one link. I got to check that out. I just want to see. Just send me one link.
And it is exactly the same. Like it's exactly. I roll. You know, I let myself do exactly what I would do in a reaction video, and it's the most the most cathartic thing ever, because just like used to do it, awesome. And it really went down well as well. People were like absolutely loving it. Good. And I would never have thought to do that if I hadn't done YouTube reactions. Like it wouldn't.
It makes sense.
Have been an idea. Yeah. Go, well, let's do this. Let's try this out. And people loved it. But little do they know, I've had like 2 years practice over here on YouTube, training myself in being natural, which is really hard to do when you're in a room with a microphone in front of you and a ring light and your camera. Yeah. You know, no one else is in this room with us.
That's true. So
being able to talk. You know, I don't know about you, but I just see the patrons there. You know, so if I'm looking at the camera, it's like I am really looking at them. You know, I'm like, Jesus, guys,
It's like you see something and you go, "Did you see that?" Okay, that's like, or just a glance, like that was weird. You don't have to say anything, and then they feel part of this whole reaction better. It's like,
and that was something I got directly from you. Like that was something I did pick up directly from you, was that the number of times you would look like at me, like obviously you can't see me, you're just looking at the camera,
right?
But that connection you were making, like that absolutely wed me to your channel. Was like, I really feel like I'm watching this with Michele. Like we're in this thing together, this episode. And so I really wanted to do that, of like get into the habit of doing it.
And you do.
And the weirdest, you're gonna die at this. The other day, what show was it that I got early, but it's on a web thing? So I didn't have it on my television downstairs. This is my office, and this is where I do all my reactions.
Okay.
So I had to watch it on my computer in this office, but I wasn't reacting. My camera's not on, my microphone's not on. I'm just watching a show for myself,
right?
But on my computer. And I suddenly realised that as stuff was happening, I'm going.
No one's there this time. It's habit.
Yeah, it's habit. And I was still like, but the thing is, I really like, it works both ways. Like, because you get used to looking at the camera as the person who's watching it with you.
Oh, yeah.
I was still like looking to the camera for like, what is happening?
That's why I would laugh out loud especially with Haunting of Hill House, because you'd freak out, and then you would like look at us like, I'm gonna freak out again, and I don't want to look. I want to look away, but I can't look away, and I'm just hysterically laughing, and I'd go, I know, I look at watch your reaction, and I go, that's right, girl, I got it. It's hilarious, but it is a creative process. It is
a really creative process.
Definitely.
And it's just all about like, how do you find your way back to yourself? And I think that to do that successfully, I think helps you beyond YouTube. You know, to be able to just be completely authentically yourself.
Yes.
Is going to help you wherever you go. So I would say to anyone who's even watching us now or watches reactions and has even had the vaguest thought in their mind that they would really get a kick out of doing this, honestly, just do it, because it really is fun. Like, I have never regretted it for a single moment doing this. It's like one of the better decisions of my life.
I agree with you. And it was going to be a hobby. It was going to be something that would keep me busy while my husband was at work. My kids were grown and gone. I was at home with the dogs, and I wanted something to do. And I thought that looks so much like, like so much fun. And I had no pressure on myself. You have to invest in some lighting. And now I know that, like I said, the first few things, it's like the sun's shining in the window, and you can only, like, I have a shadow over half my face, and I'm going, oh God. But give it a shot. Like, record a bunch of stuff at once. Go back and watch it, and just see if you can improve on something. Maybe react to something that you've already seen, but you haven't seen in a long time, and you're not going to put it on YouTube. And like, as a rehearsal thing, to see how you would look and what you would change. Because if I could do that, I'd go back and fix my hair for the intro to my channel. Hey guys. All right, number 5 question, Miss Kryptonite. This leads us into question number 4. YouTubing is a creative process. How do you keep up with a rigorous schedule?
I don't. I definitely don't. Like we had talked about it before, but like when I first started with Game of Thrones, I was trying to do 2 or 3 a week, but with work, I just couldn't do that because editing takes time. Sitting down and setting up the equipment takes time. Getting your mind in that zone, like it's a long process, and I just didn't have the time, and it was so stressful trying to like satiate everyone's need for the content, because they're watching you, so you want to give them what they want, but it's stressful. And then so like after, I don't think it was after Game of Thrones, I reacted to a show that I started watching and I didn't like, and I was trying to keep up with the schedule of putting that up, and I wasn't in it anymore. So after that, I was like, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore.
I think I jumped into Westworld, I want to say, and a lot of people love Westworld, and I pushed through that first season, but I wasn't getting it until the end,
right? And
then it like wrapped it all up for me, but then I still felt like I needed to watch it again, and everybody was like, oh, season 2, and I was like, nope, I told everybody no, and I was like, I know they'll watch
same
it
thing, but I watched the first season and that's it. I
couldn't get into it, and then I would be like, I'd make myself a little schedule, and I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta watch that Westworld. I got to sit here and act like I know what's going on. I mean, I'd be like, huh?
See, I liked the first season. Like I felt like it was a good foundation season. I caught on to what was happening in the third episode. So for me,
you already figured it out in the third episode.
I figured it out in the third episode. So I was watching, but I had the opposite effect because I figured it out. So I was just like waiting for them to reveal it. I'm like, get on with it. And so I was bored, and it didn't really hold me enough to make me watch the second one. So I was like, yeah, I'm just not.
Well, see, you're a smarty pants, and I mean that in a good way.
I just overanalyze. My brain's going 24/7. So when I'm watching something, I'm like picking everything apart.
Well, see, that's the thing. You are a creative person because you have to be creative and be, right-minded, that creative side to do this and to want to do it and all that kind of stuff and be in front of people. But you're very left-brained as well. I think because you have a technical job. I know you enjoy writing and you're like an author. So like you're a little bit smarter than me. So just a little bit. And so it doesn't surprise me now that you say that, okay, you caught on to it like early, but then that makes sense that you were like, I was still trying to catch up and I was bored because it didn't answer anything and I'd have to wait, and I kept waiting. And then episode 10, I was like,
yeah.
So you were bored for the rest of the 7 season episodes.
Yeah. Because I was frustrated. I'm like, it's obviously 2 timelines. Like why are you hiding it? Like
for people like me.
But I was wanting to like the reveal, like even with Arnold, like being a host or whatever. That like the second episode, I said that. I was like,
wow,
he doesn't see the door. Like it was just So I was just waiting. So by the time the second season came around, I was like, I don't wanna. And I did actually watch it with my husband on my own, and I fell asleep a couple times. I just didn't. I'm glad I didn't react to it.
Okay. Yeah. That you don't want to torture yourself.
My 2 favorite words are why and no. I am very good at setting boundaries for myself. If I don't feel safe or relaxed or like I'm totally in something and enjoying it, why are you doing it? That's extra stress and anxiety and pressure that you're putting on yourself for something that's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
So why? Just
right.
Mm-mm.
And I'm a yes person. I'm a people pleaser.
Girl, say no.
I know. I've got to learn to say no and just put my foot down and I didn't do that. I think I went back and I looked, Hunter, and I had like over 1,000 videos in 2 years. That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's too much. And I did it to myself, but I did love what I was reacting to. And I loved when I got into the music because I love music. It touches my soul. I love to sing. I do this, I do that. And I loved it, but I wasn't spacing it out and allowing me to also live my life. And not just sit here and do it. And I wasn't saying no to anybody or myself, even though my body would be like not shutting down, but like, you need to eat. You haven't eaten lunch today. And I'd be like, oh yeah, well, I'll eat later. And you keep going. And it's like, your body's going to crash. I held it together for the last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones because I wanted to finish the season out since I had started the channel with that. But I'm telling you, my last, the 6th episode of season 8, a lot of the crying I was doing at the end was, I knew I needed the break. Really? And I was getting so choked up because, I mean, no one died that I loved. You know what I mean? And I don't want to spoil it if someone's reacting to that right now. So I was happy, but I went back when I was editing it and I was like, you're falling apart like as it's ending. And then I was trying to talk and I thought, and that's when I took my break, but it's been 2 years now because my mind's still going, girl, you ain't ready. No, stop.
And, I can't remember who said it, but I heard a quote not long ago, but they said, by saying no, you're saying yes to yourself.
Oh, That just
So
gave me chills.
you have to say no to things. If you're going to say yes to anything else, you like yes to your health, yes to your mental state, yes to whatever else you want to put your time and energy to. Just say no. Just say
no. Today's October 10th. This is going to come out after that, but I actually posted on my Facebook page today that today is mental health day, where you take time for yourself, and I put that as my caption this morning. To take care of you first.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that, like, when you just said that just then, like, saying no is saying yes to yourself. It gave me such chills, because like I posted that today, but I need to like do it. I need to listen to myself.
Hard to do it.
That's great advice for everybody. I mean, not just if you're doing this, just take time for yourself so you don't.
If you have to take a break, just take a break. It's okay to take a break. People who are going to watch you and are subscribed and, you know, want your content, they'll stay. And if they don't, that's on them.
Then that's their issue, and they don't understand. And thank you for that. I needed that today, Hunter, by the way. Okay. So number 5.